How's it going today, you guys? Today I want to talk to you about the KRK Rokit studio monitor frequency response. It's very, very important to check the frequency response of any studio monitors before you purchase them, so you know what kind of sound you're getting. Of course, for some mixing environments, you're going to want something, or for most mixing environments, I should say, you're going to want something that has a flatter sort of frequency response across the spectrum, especially if you're mixing and even if you're producing too, just because you're going to want the most even-keeled sound, the most honest sound, and the most honest representations of all the frequencies across your spectrum. The last thing you want is to get something that's super hyped, maybe in the bass, for example, and then you're starting to mix, you're starting to produce. You get something that sounds really, really cool in your home studio or whatever, and then you bring it out to your car, you bring it out into the real world, put it on a regular consumer stereo system, and all of a sudden your mix falls apart. You've overcompensated. You're missing out on bass. You don't have enough because you've thought you've mixed enough with the bass. The bass frequency studio monitors that you have, or whatever. The point is, you're going to want to get things that have a flatter frequency response, because it's just going to make all the difference, and your mixes are going to be cleaner, clearer, and more professional. As for KRK Rokit monitors, a little bit of history. These KRK systems began releasing these back in 2003, and they released the Generation 1 studio monitors to begin with. Now we're in 2020, and we are at the Generation 4. You're currently looking at the KRK Rokit G4 8s, G4 for Generation 4, and 8 for 8-inch low-frequency drivers. And in terms of frequency response, this is the first generation of KRK Rokits, in my opinion, that is truly professional and truly, even across the playing field. I think before and for a long time, KRK was notorious for having a really kind of lame, low-end sound. It was just never that great. It was very muddy. It was just hyped in the lower frequencies. Basically, not providing you with the honest frequency representation that you need for mixing. And they've done a lot to kind of combat that, to help create a clearer and flatter frequency response overall. For starters, they do have this new Kevlar design that they use for the low frequency drivers now, which is really, really great. They're very, very tight, or it's a very tight material, very lightweight material, and just very punchy overall. It's very responsive, especially to lower end instruments such as bass, subs, 808s, kicks, even low percussion like toms and things. It remains very, very punchy and very, very tight, kind of centering your low end so that you can mix it as so, which is really, really helpful, and it gives this sort of unprecedented clarity, this sound reproduction that can match up against other high-end professional studio monitors that are on the market today. And the beauty of it is that it still comes around for a very, very low price. Now, of course, the different KRK Rokits have different frequency responses. I think the ROKIT 5 G4s only go down to 43 hertz and up to 40 kilohertz. So that's the smallest of them. And then the ROKIT 8 G4 is the one that you're looking at. They go down to 36 hertz and up to 40 kilohertz. So just more of a fuller frequency range, I should say. And then, of course, you have the ROKIT 10 3 G4s, which are the midfield speakers, and those go down to 26 hertz. So then you're getting more of a sub, a representation of your sub frequencies, your lowest possible frequencies. But yeah, I would say they've done a really good job at kind of recreating their studio monitors to have a more professional, flatter frequency response. And I would highly recommend them now for mixing and producing. All right, guys, if you have any questions or insights about the frequency response of KRK Rokits, please feel free to let me know in the comments. All right, take it easy.